The open source password manager KeePass has been Trojanized for things like Cobalt Strike beacons and info stealers. We released the Black Bass internal chats and translated for your pleasure, and Google comes out with advanced protection mode. All this and more on this week's executive brief. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another week of our cybersecurity executive brief. I'm Corey Wolf, Director of Offensive Security at Risk 360, and today is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. We've noticed, some new research here from WithSecure talks through how KeePass has been utilized to steal passwords and drop Cobalt Strike beacons. So KeePass is open source, which means anyone can see the source code, anyone can modify the source code, and then compile their own version of KeePass. What the threat actors did here was they took it, they injected some additional capabilities, such as being able to drop beacons and exfiltrate sensitive information, and then hosted it throughout the internet. Right. This particular attack includes a lots of things. So, initial access, according to WithSecure, was through Bing advertisements. So here we go. The researchers found that the attack started with the malicious KeePass installer promoted through Bing advertisements that promoted fake software sites. So this is some malvertising. This has been going on forever. There's actually some pretty interesting research about how a certain percentage of Google's ad revenue is actually somewhat malicious, but that's neither here nor there. But what happens is the threat actors run Bing ads in this case, to say, if you Bing KeePass, and you're looking for KeePass, one of their malicious advertisements shows up, which directs you, the user, to a site like this, what you're seeing here. So, what you see here is actually a screenshot from one of the malicious KeePass sites that's distributing the Trojanized Keyloader installer, as it's known as Keyloader. This is not the actual KeePass website. This is a threat actor controlled website, and as you can see, it's downloading the installation file for the malicious KeePass installation. So they gain access to Bing advertising accounts in one way or another. They then use those accounts to push advertisements for their malicious sites, which, as you can see here, this is Keep. What is it? Keep password. I'm not going to try and spell it, but it's a lookalike domain, and they direct users there who then download it. So it still had all the same functionality that KeePass should have. So they could store passwords. It did everything that KeePass should do, with the little extra on top. And so what they ended up doing, for at least 8 months, that WithSecure is aware of, what they ended up doing was distributing this malicious KeePass version, if you want to call it that, that included Keyloader. So it did lots of different things. In addition to dropping Cobalt Strike beacons, the Trojanized KeePass program included password stealing functionality that allowed the threat actors to steal any credentials that were inputted into the program. So if you saved your username and password combo into KeePass, it went right to the threat actors. I don't know about KeePass. It's been forever since I used it, but some of the password managers allow you to store the code for MFA, so for one-time passwords. They allow you to actually share the code, and so you don't have to actually go to your phone. Like, you could just log in, and when MFA comes up, it auto populates the code. One reason why I don't like it, neither here nor there. But yeah, Keyloader was not just modified to the extent it could act as a malware loader. Its functionality was extended to facilitate the exfiltration of KeePass database data. So that means that if you had a KeePass database file, database file, and you imported it into this Keyloader version of KeePass, it would exfiltrate all of that as well. So not just new ones that you're putting in. If you imported any in, then it would exfiltrate those as well. It's been tied to, as you can see here, WithSecure attributes this activity with moderate confidence to UNC 4696, a threat group previously linked to nitrogen loader campaigns. Previous nitrogen campaigns were linked to the Black Hat ALPV ransomware. So I believe in here they talked through There's a whole bunch of different lookalike domains or typo squatting kind of domains. Um, Here we go. As far as Cobalt Strike goes, WithSecure says that the Cobalt Strike watermarks used in this campaign are linked to an initial access broker that is believed to be associated with Black Basta ransomware attacks in the past. So, ransomware crews have a number of different ways to gain access to the internal networks that they then ransom. Sometimes they do it on their own. They just mass scan for a new vulnerability that was just released. Sometimes which doesn't happen nearly as much, but sometimes they will create their own ODAs, like they did with. I'm blanking right now. Conti did it. A couple other groups did it, or they can just purchase initial access. So there are groups of people, and we've talked through this on a couple of the different ransomware videos that we've done at Risk 360 about the whole ecosystem and how it works. But there are these groups that are known as initial access brokers, which exactly as it sounds, that's their whole point. They gain access and then they sell it. And it appears as though the watermarks used in the campaign are linked to an initial access broker that is believed to be associated with Black Basta. Black Basta is, at least for the past few months, somewhat defunct at this point. There's been leaks of the Black Basta internal chat logs. Previously to Black Basta, it basically, the thought is that Black Basta came from Conti. Conti in 2022 made roughly $250 million. But they had their own leaks and then disbanded, and then a lot of those members went on to form Black Basta. History repeats itself. Just a few months ago, internal Black Basta chat logs were leaked, and Black Basta is now, kind of out of business. But basically, this particular campaign with KeePass is, at least according to WithSecure, is thought to be linked to an initial access broker. So they were basically just doing this big campaign, and they were probably just selling as much access as possible, whether that was actual Cobalt Strike beacons or just credentials, that kind of thing. So, yeah, they were signed with legitimate certificates. It's pretty well done. Apparently, this particular one is still open or still running. I don't know. Let's go look. Let's take a look here. See if it's still there. Sorry, don't mind me. One second. Let's see. Oh, it's still up. So this is a malicious site that's distributing KeePass. Well, not really KeePass. Keyloader. Trojanized version of KeePass. As of May 21st, 2025, this particular website is still active. I mentioned that Black Basta is somewhat defunct at this point. Some of their internal chat logs were leaked. Just wanted to call out that the Armada team over at Risk 360, we have actually grabbed those internal chat logs. They were in mostly Russian. We did translate them, and they are here for your viewing pleasure. So we do have these available. It's bastachats.armada-ops.com. I'll link to that in the description. But if you're interested in seeing some real deal internal chat logs from Black Basta, this is roughly May 2023 to May 2024, no, to 2025. We translated them. They are available there for your viewing pleasure. I pulled up just an example here. Black Basta was responsible for the Ascension Health ransomware incident where, millions, tens, maybe, I don't know, really bad ransomware incident. But I just did a quick search here. You can search their internal chat logs if you like. Just did a quick search here. And as you can see, sometimes I don't even know it's them. So you can see this one message here. The news is talking about Ascension Health. It looks like one of the biggest attacks of the year. Is it our doing? Did we do that? What else did I say? The news is writing about Ascension Health. It looks like one of the biggest attacks of the year. Man. So they're really having a good old time. There's one other one that I wanted to call out. Here you are. Here you go. There are two approaches to this ransom in this case. Actually, let's go. Where's the other one? Oh yeah, here you go. Here's the actual ransom note well, not ransom note, but one of the original messages sent. So when there's a ransomware incident, typically there's a negotiator that comes in, and this is the actual message sent from Black Basta to Ascension Health when they were negotiating the ransom payment. And just hello, Ascension Health. Thank you for joining this private chat. This chat is secure and confidential. Um, where we don't necessarily require Ascension's CEO in this chat, um, though considering that United Health Group, the other big one, UHG CEO now needs to answer questions on the Congress carpet, we recommend your CEO to talk to us directly. But this is the actual one of the actual messages between Black Bass and the ransomware negotiator. There's all kinds of good stuff in these chat messages. If you're interested in that kind of thing, like I said, I'll link to that so that you can check it out on your own. Translated, organized, and searchable for your viewing pleasure. Google has introduced something. All right, so I don't know. I'm trying not to just like always be a I used to love Google. I used to love Google until they shut everything down. You know, they put something cool out and then you'd use it and then they're like, oh well, no, it's going goodbye now. And then I don't know. I got tired of it. Point is, I'm trying not to be a Apple fanboy all the time, but Google has introduced advanced protection mode for its most at-risk Android users. So I believe this will be coming out with Android 16. Yeah, so on Tuesday, the company unveiled the advanced protection mode, most of which will be rolled out in the upcoming release of Android 16. So if you're able to read this and you're reading through the rest of this paragraph, this is in response to all the work that's been going on with NSO Group and other basically ODE brokers, NSO Group in particular, and most of the other ones that do this. They figure out zero-day exploits for iPhones, Android, other systems. They sell that to governments. NSO Group is in a lot of hot water just due to over the past few years, activities, of their tooling being used to target journalists and other non-nation states, basically. And so when all this started to really come through, Apple had introduced lockdown mode, which basically, as it sounds, locks it down. It turns off Bluetooth, turns off certain USB. I think most of the USB functions, won't let your device connect to 2G networks, that kind of thing. Google has now introduced their own version of that. That, as you can see, let's see here. Here's an example. There's a screenshot there. So advanced protection helps defend against online attacks, harmful apps, insecure connections, and other threats that put your data at risk. So advanced protection mode, as well as lockdown mode from iOS, is meant for high-profile individuals who could be under attack by nation states. It's a way to, very much limit the attack surface for them by, again, don't let it connect to 2G networks, disable Bluetooth, all those kinds of things. And here you can see the screenshot of what it'll look like on Android. Yeah, here you go. So we mentioned the 2G networks, no automatic connections to insecure Wi-Fi networks, enabling of memory tagging extension, a relatively new form of memory management that's designed to provide an extra layer of protection against use after free exploits and other memory corruption attacks. Automatically powering down device, intrusion logging that writes system events to a fortified region of the phone for use in detecting and diagnosing successful or attempted hacks. That's an interesting one. So this is good news all around, though. I think for individuals that use Android, they do now will with Android 16 have their own version of lockdown mode, what they call advanced protection mode. So yeah, so that's it for this week. Pretty busy week. As always, here if you need anything, I will link to that Black Basta Chats website so you can search them on your own if you like. And yeah, I hope you have a great week, an excellent weekend, and we'll see you here next Wednesday. Speak soon.